So here we are, right smack in the middle of Battlefield 6's reveal, with the game's first cinematic trailer dropping just last week, with the multiplayer reveal slated for July 31st. And while I do think the reveal trailer is a huge step in the right direction, and this game should be a massive success, I'm ultimately finding it hard to get hyped about. Now, I honestly do believe Battlefield 6 will mark a return for this franchise that's been stuck in limbo, but it feels like the community is just so beyond burnt out by the past few years that many of us are to the point of finding it difficult to truthfully care, almost like we don't want to get our hopes up again. Like, I'm to the point every time I see the trailer reposted or someone's reaction to the reveal, ultimately the top comment is always someone saying to not pre-order. Instead of the community being hyped about the content of the new game, everyone is just viewing this next title as simply a test for the developers. No one's talking about how hyped they are to jump in with their friends, or how interested they are to experience all this new content unless they're a partnered creator or a paid-off streamer who suddenly loves Battlefield again. Instead, the core fan base seems to be holding our breath and waiting to see when the other shoe will drop. And thus, this intense community mindset has seemingly spooked Battlefield Studios so badly that it's like they're almost playing their cards too close to their chest. While the first Battlefield 6 trailer was quite a solid reveal, it really just showed a bunch of modern soldiers running around in cinematic locations with no mention of gameplay, mechanics, game modes, and barely any narrative. And while I do appreciate EA respecting the power of the fanbase here, it seems like they're so nervous about making a mistake that they're instead revealing so little info that they're not even giving us enough to get hyped about, aside from the fact the trailer looks like a game we played over 10 years ago. The devs seem to be focusing really hard on making sure that they very delicately pace out the reveal and really only focus on the optics of these trailers. I mean, hell, there's not a single woman in the entire trailer outside of a journalist who's hidden off screen. Instead of showcasing mechanics, teasing content like the Battle Royale, or boasting classic features like the class system, they seem to still be answering for the sins of their past, like making sure there isn't a one-armed handicapped woman on the front lines of World War II. So while I'm honestly optimistic for the next Battlefield, with devs still answering for their years of neglect, it's hard to find anything tangible to get hyped about, at least up to this point. Even many of my friends who've already seen the reveal and leaked gameplay ultimately just say, "Oh, that looks like Battlefield," and that's it. Like, it's 2025 and this is it? Doesn't this just look like a new version of the game we had 10 years ago? And while hardcore fans know that's not entirely true, I feel like Battlefield might be leaning way too hard into nostalgia instead of actually using all these resources and this $400 million budget to evolve the formula with new experiences and more high-quality content to intrigue players who've been tuned out for several years at this point. Like spending $400 million across 4 studios and several years of production just for the FPS fanbase to say, "Oh, this looks like a game we got 15 years ago," just doesn't seem like an appropriate outcome, especially while the hardcore fans know there's big things on the way with the return of single player, a new Battle Royale, and an updated Frostbite engine being led by top-tier talent in the States. So while I'm ultimately just on the cusp of being hyped for Battlefield 6, I need the team over at EA and Battlefield Studios to wrap up their apology tour as soon as possible and get on to why I should be excited for this new iteration of the title. So far, the reveal is doing a great job showing that the devs understand the emotional and tonal changes the franchise has to make, but like many hardcore fans have said, the gunplay, mechanics, and stability will be where the rubber meets the road. Things like weapon customization, movement, and mouse input is where a real potential fanbase will be won or lost, and that conversation needs to start big time with the multiplayer reveal come July 31st. Give us exciting new experiences based across an upgraded gameplay system where stability, gunplay, and quality content are prioritized, and then the hype will explode. While the first trailer got our attention, the multiplayer reveal needs to grab our interest. Until then, I'm rooting for you, Battlefield, as there's no reason this next title doesn't absolutely pop off. But until it does, I and the rest of the community will be holding our breath. But drop those comments below. Are you hyped or are you not? Let me know, and as everyone's already said, don't pre-order just yet. And for everything else Battlefield, stay tuned and subscribe, and as always, thank you guys for watching.